Ah, man, it's that time of year. The weather is crisp and cool. It feels good. There's colors on the trees, they're changing. It's beginning to look a lot like Fallout side.
What's up, everybody? I'm Alex.
I'm Cody.
We're Slow Your Roll here today to talk about the Fallout series. They already have a TTRPG, but sometimes learning the new system can be a little bit daunting. But if you want something that's really easy to just use the already pre-made D&D character and take it right over to a Fallout theme, then I think you're going to like this video.
Recently, we've had a surprising amount of traffic to our channel for people looking specifically for Fallout stuff. So we figured it's that time of year. Actually, like it's Fallout side. That was the joke. That was the bit. So we're going to do some Fallout related D&D things. That is why we're covering some Fallout to D&D conversion content. And we'll probably have a couple videos coming out this week related to that. So to start off, we're going to give you some very quick ways that you can take D&D 5e and reflavor it, starting with the races of the game. So in Fallout, you've got humans, ghouls, super mutants, synths, all kinds of cool stuff. And let's just take a quick look at some of the races that exist in D&D already that could easily be switched to other races that you'd find in Fallout, or creature types. For humans, you just got, humans. That's easy enough. But if you wanted to be fancy, you could use other races that are kind of just like humans with specialties. I mean, that's kind of all the other races are to some degree anyway.
Yeah, like if you're going to have a Gith Yankee, tell me that's not just a human.
Right, exactly. But maybe you're going with a ghoul instead. And for this, you could just pick an elf or half elf due to the fact that they live forever.
And several races in D&D have a really long lifespan, so that could apply to any of those as well.
Yeah, easy fix. Maybe you're trying to play as a super mutant. You've got half orcs, Goliaths, a couple good options there to just play as big, hulking, strong creatures.
Absolutely. I could think of like Minotaur or even like a Leonin. Something that's really monstrous could just be a super mutant.
And then, of course, maybe you want to get silly and play as a Mr. Handy or some other robot or even a synth. You could just use the Warforged, who already has construct-like mechanics built into their character.
Exactly. And you did kind of like mention a synth a second ago. So if you wanted to play like a changeling or something else that's constantly changing form, that'd be a good way to do it. But in all reality, we're just changing the names. We're not changing the mechanics. You don't have to reflavor the races, especially because there's not too much variety in Fallout when compared to D&D. So don't feel like this step is necessary, but the rest of them, I feel like you're going to love. Like maybe when you envision classes, a barbarian could just be a wasteland berserker and so many other examples we have today.
Yeah, so moving on to quick reflavoring of classes, what if your bard is actually a radio host?
I love that. You know for a fact if you call your bard a radio host, he's instantly changing his name to Three Dog.
Or maybe you're playing a cleric. This could be really fun to reflavor as the Child of Adam type of devout. And then maybe a lot of their magic or healing spells and things like that are actually radiation-based things since they've soaked in so much of it.
And I'd also love it if they actually had a Adam god that they more or less interacted with.
And you already know that if you wanted to play a Brotherhood of Steel type of character, you're definitely going to be a paladin at that point.
Right, it's literally in the name of some of them.
Yep.
Yeah, Paladin Dance does not dance.
Nope, but he does paladin. Maybe you have a warlock at the table. This would be really fun to be reflavored as some weird enclave experiment.
And we're not necessarily going to go over all of the classes. We will leave a list maybe on the screen or definitely in the description for you to check out all the conversions for the classes. Those are just a couple of our favorites. Now you're a super mutant berserker, but you're still wielding a greatsword. Let's fix that. So we went ahead and changed over pretty much all of the general items in Dungeons & Dragons to Fallout equivalents. We're going to leave the document in the description for the Dungeon Master to be able to reference any items. And you can even start with this diagram during character creation to help everybody fully immerse themselves into the world of Fallout, and you didn't even have to learn a new game.
As you may know, those of you using D&D Beyond, it's crazy easy to just take a single item and rename it something else. This is how you do it. So, starting off with just simple melee weapons. A lot of these are extremely simple and you could do without us, thinking for you. But for example, the club, lead pipe. There you go. Now it's a Fallout item. But let's say you're wanting to use a actually really cool, iconic Fallout item like the super sledge. that can easily be reflavored as a great club and use the same mechanics. Or, of course, in D&D, a lot of monks or those that might use staffs, going to be using a quarterstaff, easily a pool cue from Fallout.
And what do you do when you got your sickle? You turn that into the Ripper. It's not exactly a one-to-one thing, but it does the same amount of damage for the games. And that's what we're trying to go for here. And it is a one-handed attack weapon as well. So I feel like a little bit of compromise when it comes to making a sickle, a mini hand chainsaw, kind of works here.
I totally agree, because realistically, a lot of these weapons, though they seem worlds apart, actually kind of do mechanically the same amount of damage even in the Fallout video games. So this is actually a good one-to-one comparison.
And those are really just like the melee weapons, and there's so many more. Check out the link. I don't know how many times I can say it, but when we've got the ranged weapons, it gets a lot more exciting. A normal light crossbow could just be your basic pipe bolt action gun that you find in Fallout. But when you get something like a heavy crossbow, that could actually be like a sniper rifle. Or maybe if you have a little hand crossbow, you're able to turn that into a pistol, a little SMG or something. Or maybe if you got explosive ammo, it's now a shotgun. Sawed off, of course.
And then you've got more of the martial melee weapons. So we're thinking like Grognak's axe, right? It's going to be a battle axe. That one's really easy. But maybe a flail in D&D could be a chain-wrapped baseball bat. Or a simple maul-like hammer could obviously be reflavored as a sledgehammer.
And you might also notice that a lot of things in D&D might also still be in the Fallout TTRPG. So if you said you wanted a sword or a hammer, it's likely just going to be a sword or a hammer, guys.
Yeah. Let's say on your character sheet you have a warhammer. This is an awesome opportunity to turn that thing into a power fist.
And instead of just a boring old whip, how about a chain whip this time? I think it's really easy to Mad Maxify, irradiate, and Fallout your kind of themes with whatever you might be able to do on any of these weapons here. So just let your imagination run wild. There's thousands of examples that we could give for weapons, and that may have been an exaggeration, but not by much. Let's go into a couple of different equipment things that you'd be able to change out and really be able to sell the theme of Fallout. Kind of like, what's your Pip-Boy look like, and what's it do? If you had a bag of holding, this would probably be it. And now, oddly enough, your bag of holding has a Fitbit functionality. But there are really simple ones like a stim pack. Obviously, that's just a potion of healing. A much more intrusive potion of healing. Or there's a bunch of different chems in Fallout, like the cat's eye that could just give you dark vision, or I know of the psycho that's kind of like an induced rage.
Or maybe your DM rewards you with the lucky find of a stealth boy, which of course just has the mechanics of a potion of invisibility. Or this could look differently where maybe you can just cast invisibility and that's a stealth boy that you can use and recharge. Another fun mayhem conjuring item, the Molotov cocktail in Fallout, could definitely be alchemist fire. I mean, it basically is. And then you've got some simple grenades. Your frag grenade or plasma grenades could easily be flavored as a bomb in 5e, or the shatter spell.
And I feel like that's a good thing to point out, because we just said an item is in exchange for a spell, which totally makes sense in the world of Fallout. You get to replenish your 3 frag grenades a day or something like that. It may be that simple if you just think of a out-of-the-box solution. What is a cryolator except for just a cone of cold? And last of all, you know you gotta drink a good Nuka-Cola when you play Fallout. It's a rule, actually. Look in the book. But if you did drink that Nuka-Cola, it's just gonna be a potion of speed. And I might make a weird rule that if you drink the Quantum, you have to give a weird yell, just like in the game. But if you guys got any more ways to keep this idea going, leave it down in the comments. But you might have noticed he's got the best shirt in the world. Check out that dragon. It's been looking at you all night. You can get one yourself. Link in the description.
Absolutely. These shirts are really soft, I might add, by the way. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.